Good morning once again and welcome to the AM News. Our very first story this morning, President Akufo-Addo has hit back at his free SHS critics, insisting the latest WASSCE results is proof of the success of the education policy. He said despite the associated challenges with its implementation, he's proud of its achievements so far. The president was speaking at the 70th anniversary of the Tamale Senior High School in Tamale.
Tamale Senior High School, established in 1951, is the first senior high school in the northern sector with 20 boys. It was named Government Secondary School. The name was later changed to Gbewa Secondary School in 1972 and then Tamale Secondary School in 1976. The school has produced many prominent people, including Dr. Hilal Liman, the former Vice President Alhaji Aliu Mahama, the Assistant Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu, among several other prominents. The 70th anniversary brought together several people from all walks of life to celebrate the day. The president, who touted the success of the free SHS, said there were some people who described the policy as a waste and was going to compromise the quality of Ghana's education.
Experiences of developed nations have shown us that the most efficient way to create a society of opportunities and thereby guarantee the future of our nation is by investing in education and skills training of our youth. 5 years on, following the implementation of the free senior high school policy, which has guaranteed a minimum of senior high school education for 1.6 million Ghanaian children, I want to state without any equivocation that I'm very proud of the policy and of its results thus far. A look at the WASSCE results of the first batch of free SHS graduates, whom I choose to call the Akufo-Addo graduates, and that of those whose results have just been released, give further evidence of why the free HS policy has been a success so far. There can no longer be any controversy about the validity of the free SHS policy and its consequential measures. It is working. Let us forego partisan parochial considerations which confer little benefit and all agree the free SHS has to be a part of our national educational architecture for at least a generation, if not forever.
He said government is committed to ensuring quality, relevant education that would produce confident, skillful manpower for the country.
Government is committed to ensuring quality, relevant education that will produce confident, skilled global citizens, fully versed in the new digital technology and ready and able to compete with their counterparts anywhere in the world.
The headmaster of the school, Reverend Edward Azika, charged the students to put up their best, noting that their predecessors have set the bar.
The bar has already been raised for you. You cannot lower the standard. That is why we have set ourselves every year to get at least 10% improvement over the previous performance.
Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has hinted that government will use the Ghana Stock Exchange as a tool for the revival of the economy post-COVID-19. He says the GCE will be central in government's quest to provide long capital for entrepreneurs and the expansion of businesses in the country. He was speaking after receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award at the 30th anniversary dinner and awards of the Ghana Stock Exchange in Accra.
We identified the lack of access to medium to long-term capital as a key constraint for unleashing the potential of our private sector. In response, we've worked with the SEC, GSE, and other stakeholders to develop what Daniel mentioned, the capital markets plan. Ladies and gentlemen, the Capital Markets Master Plan, which we launched earlier this year, will take us to where we have to go, a modern society with access to long-term capital. Undeniably transforming Ghana's stock exchange into a deep, efficient, diversified, and well-regulated exchange is central to our Ghana Cares for Baton Papco's COVID-19 recovery agenda. Additionally, the policy connection with initiatives like the 10 billion CD Youth Start program for the youth is straightforward. Step by step, the government wants to work with the GSE to transform into a critical reservoir of patient capital for young Ghanaians to fund their dreams and ideas. In government, we are encouraged by the development efforts of nations such as Singapore. Over 20 years, they deliberately grew their stock exchange from a market cap of some 192 billion to over a trillion, over 40% of issuers based outside Singapore.
Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast, Professor Joseph Nyarko Boampong, is calling on Ghanaian and African universities to take concrete steps towards identifying and addressing local and regional development needs by offering innovative academic programs which meet the 21st century skills and provide an entrepreneurial mindset. He indicated that though the COVID-19 pandemic has been devastating to many economies around the globe, it has nonetheless helped many African universities define their peculiar solutions. Speaking at the University of Cape Coast's Best Researcher Awards and Researcher Supports Grants ceremony, he highlighted several breakthroughs in research by the university's scientists that would be beneficial for the local communities and Ghana as a whole.
Professor Johnson Nyarko Boampong indicated many African universities, including the University of Cape Coast, have been pushed by the pandemic to innovate and research into areas that hitherto were not being considered. The Vice Chancellor indicated the UCC scientists are being challenged to undertake more research that would inure to the benefit of local communities and affect national outcomes as well. He further charged African universities to appreciate local needs and work towards getting solutions to them through research and innovation.
This pandemic has proven to be more than just an infectious disease problem. It has exposed weak economies, inadequate health systems, affected societal cohesion, and disrupted our educational systems. Ironically, beyond being one of the worst pandemics ever, COVID-19 has helped African universities to better define their peculiar solutions and chart unique paths forward. The symbiosis between research and innovation is epitomized by the biotechnology front, where research by UCC scientists have culminated in novel variants of plants and animals that are disease-resistant, drought-resistant, pest-resistant, and all higher yielding. Our scientists are pioneering several other innovations in artificial intelligence, natural language processing, and social innovation in community development.
The director of DRIC, Professor Atuama, outlined some challenges faced by some innovators at the university.
Innovators across the 5 colleges in UCC face very different circumstances with regard to such factors as financial demands, time to product, and intellectual property protection. These differences call for nuanced institutional policy approaches.
Some of the award winners and grant recipients spoke to Joy News.
We are looking at teacher effect variable. Research has shown that there are a number of indicators, factors that contribute to students' performance, and the teacher factor is one of the most important one. And even within the teacher variable, there are other factors: teacher quality, teachers' instructional leadership, teachers' relationship with the students, teachers' pedagogy, teachers' assessment approaches and skills. So all these things come together, but we are looking at the most important variable among the one that I have mentioned. So it has a lot of policy implication. If we're able to come out with good findings and good recommendations, it will inform policy at the Ministry of Education, it will inform practice within the Ministry of within the Ghana Education Service, and it will inform teacher performance and student performance.
The UCC Best Researcher Awards and Research Support Grant has been in place since 2015. It is to improve research excellence and innovation at the university and help seek local, national and international solutions to challenges. Richard Kwejenya Akon, Joy News, Cape Coast.
The national president of the Conference of District Directors of Agriculture, Alhaji Mumuni Ibrahim, has charged government to issue a directive to the various municipal and district assemblies to release a percentage of the district assembly's common fund to the Agric directorates for the funding of various agric-related policies. He made this call at the 3rd Biennial Conference of the District Directors of Agriculture in Techiman in the Bono East region. Correspondent Anas Sabit has more in the following report.
The 3rd Biennial Conference of the District Directors of Agriculture was held in Techiman under the theme Decentralization and its Impact on Agriculture. National President of the Conference of District Directors of Agriculture, Alhaji Ibrahim Mumuni, bemoaned some of the challenges agric directors go through in accessing funds to aid their various activities.
A lot of challenges as a result of we're not coming together happens one district to the other. Some of them includes the release of our funds, sometimes from the MMDAs to our district department of Agric to work, comes late. The money is released and picking it from the sub-CF and then to the department to work takes a longer time.
However, called on government to issue a directive to local assemblies to release a quota of the assembly's common fund for the funding of agric-related policies.
We suggest that there should be a directive from central government. There should be a directive that at least 2%, I'm not giving a figure for government, but what I'm saying is that looking at it, we have done a lot of work on it and we know how much averagely planting for export and rural development in a district you spend. So if even the common fund comes and they give us a percentage, that this percentage we are giving it out, but that should be a directive.
Chairman of the occasion and Bono East Regional Minister Kwesi Edujan noted that the conference would help improve the performance of the directorate in terms of providing the needed support to local farmers.
Yeah, this conference is very important, and the theme that they are looking at, the subject, the impact of decentralization, in respect to the agriculture sector. What's the impact? It makes it very effective. It brings the services, of MOFA closer to the farmers, makes it very possible for them to access the necessary services, use, education and sensitization that comes with the work of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture.
Guest speaker and Dean of the Faculty of Biosciences at the University for Development Studies, Professor Elliot Haruna Al-Hassan, emphasized that a decentralized system will empower various district directors of agriculture in terms of rendering better services to farmers within their localities.
Decentralization, therefore, assigned the full task of policy implementation to you, the district directors. You also, through this program, have some logistics that helps you to reach out to farmers in the field, to provide requisite technical support and transfer knowledge, technical knowledge for better agronomic practices, etc. Clearly, without decentralization, such resources would have been controlled from the center, with the attendant problems of bureaucracy, red tapeism, etc.
Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, Techiman.
Now, scores of volunteers thronged the forecourts of Love FM and Ensure FM in Kumasi to participate in the regular blood donation exercise. The exercise, which was organized for the second time in 2021, saw over 150 units of blood collected to stock the Komfo Anokye Blood Bank. And there's more in the following report.
Izuchi Chibuike, who is a second-time donor, revealed his motivation to donate blood stemmed from a blood emergency where his cousin needed some pints of blood after a cesarean section. He says he will continue to donate blood to support people who may not be financially stable to purchase blood.
I have a cousin who was booked for a CS and it didn't really go as planned, so she lost a lot of blood. And I mean, the family had to run around to see what we could do. So at that point, I realized that, it's an emergency, anything can happen. So if this is the little we can do to help, and any other family that might not be financially stable enough to get blood when it's required as an emergency.
A 23-time donor, Philip Yabwa, has made it a habit to donate pints of blood to shore up the blood bank. Philip says his reason is premised on biblical allusions as he has been charged to do so.
I started from 2007. That's 14 years ago. Yes, so I've donated 23 times. The motivation is from Christ. On the Sabbath, Jesus Christ healed. And today is the Sabbath day, and I'm here donating. It means I'm just imitating what Jesus Christ did.
He encouraged the general public not to be scared of donating, but endeavor to help save lives. The Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital Blood Bank has suffered some shortages in the wake of the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic. Principal Blood Recruitment Officer Benjamin Ahin reveals previous turnouts at the blood donation exercise have been huge.
Today, so far, we have collected almost 150 units of blood and still counting. The day is still young, so we are hoping that by the close of the session, most of our listeners from Multimedia, Ensure and Love FM will come around to donate. Normally, when you have an exercise with Multimedia, we collect 200 to 300 units of blood. So we're expecting that by the close of the day, we'll collect about 200 to 250 units of blood.
Recent low turnouts have been attributed to public fear of contracting the COVID-19 virus. Mr. Ahin allayed fears and encouraged people to visit the hospital periodically and donate blood to shore up the blood bank.
There was a big shortage during COVID. You remember when the pandemic came in, there was no social gathering. So people were, scared to come around because they thought they would get COVID through some of these exercises. Some of our donors were scared to even enter the facility to come and donate. And because our work has to do with gathering, we were not able to gather more people around for them to take part in this exercise. So it was also affecting our collections. So we are using this platform to entreat all our donors that COVID is there, but you can't get it through blood donation. So they should come around and come and donate to save a life.
The blood donation was carried out alongside COVID-19 vaccination to support the government's mass vaccination drive.
So over 200 pints of blood have been collected today at this event. It's safe to donate to save some lives. When next there is an ongoing exercise of blood donation in your vicinity, ensure to donate. From Kumasi for Joy News, Emmanuel Bright-Kweko reporting.
And that's it for the AM News, but the show continues right after this.